I'm feeling conflicted, Brian, because old Madcap Moss, he's not with Corbin now. He's not wearing the goofy outfit. He looks like a great athlete. He's got an upside. He doesn't in the ring, but they're still calling him Madcap Moss, and I just refuse to say Madcap again. That'll be the last time you hear it. So he's Moss from now on. But Zayn and Solo started out with a tag match against Ricochet and Moss. And Zayn is playing up the asshole with the badass, bodyguard perfectly. And the cocky, and I mean, everything he's doing lately has been gold. Solo, he's the Usos' younger brother, apparently legitimately. He's not that big. Of course, he's a Samoan. And he's serious. He's acting serious about this. He's got the facials. He looks great. I wanted to like him more in this match even than I did. Not to say there's anything wrong with him, but it was a lot of punch and kick. And I'm just thinking, Jacob Fatu in this spot would be $1 million player. That they could probably actually work for about a year and a half and end up splitting and having Roman Reigns against Jacob Fatu and gross millions of dollars on pay-per-view. Because Solo is serious and he's a good athlete and his work so far is okay. I'd like to see a little more variety. But he's got intensity, but he doesn't look like, I guess, like a lunatic.
He looks like a junior Uso.
He doesn't look like somebody that would lose control of himself and eat your face, even if he is a Samoan. And he might very well do that, but he doesn't look like it, whereas Jacob Fatu does. I'm just thinking if for an enforcer in the Samoan family there, they've just continued to overlook the obvious that's right in front of them. Anyway, they have this match. They do a big dive by, Ricochet, and they go to the break in under 4 minutes. They come back. There's heat on Ricochet. Like I said, Solo, okay, a lot of punch and kick. Then they just did simultaneous tags. No real hot tag. They just, let's both just tag out and start over. And old Moss made his comeback, and they did a good finish. They had the people going. The crowd was behind Sami, even though he's obviously the heel. He's the most fun to watch, so they gravitate to him. And they did a couple of falses. Moss caught Sami with a jackhammer, and Solo saved it. And then Ricochet was going to do a dive, but Sami tripped him. And then Moss got on him, so the referee went with Sami and Moss. Ricochet went for the dive anyway, and Solo threw a chair and caught Ricochet in midair and threw him over the railing out in the people, or out in the timekeepers area that everybody gets thrown in, and then hit a spin kick and a rock bottom on Moss, 1, 2, 3. So I'm like, Jesus Christ. Moss is a giant. He's jacked. He looks great. He's hopefully getting a fresh look and maybe a fresh name soon. And Mighty Mouse is his partner, and they beat Moss instead of Ricochet. So, and then Solo gets back on and gets extra heat on Moss after the fact. So they beat him up afterwards too. Again, who's picking the fucking talent that gets pushed and who's picking the talent that gets punked out? Because I'm thinking they need a trip to the ophthalmologist. Your thoughts?
Well, again, Ricochet got signed because he had a lot of buzz off the indies, and they pushed him from the moment he got there in NXT, and then on the main roster, he's run into the problems that other people have. Madcap Moss was brought up with a comedy gimmick.
Maybe that should be Mad Cop, and he could dress up like a police officer.
Well, maybe better than what he's done. Be the goofy sidekick to a goofy character. And now here he is again, same name, but he's now dressing like a wrestler. He's in great shape. We still don't know what else he could do, if he could do a good promo or anything else, really. But obviously, Ricochet's been a bigger priority for WWE.
I mean, Ricochet is wonderful. middle card babyface, good for the kids, does the flying stuff. Let's not seriously pretend like he needs to be a main event star.
Does Madcap need to be a main event star? Do you think just based on look and a change of name he could be? Or what do you...
Based on look and size and athletic ability, and with a name change, yes, based on those things, he could be a main event star. Now, is he coachable? Does he have a good attitude? Is he going to continue to progress? That's a question, but you've got the template to work with. You have material here. Ricochet, wonderfully talented acrobat, and we saw a couple weeks ago he can sell and have a wrestling match when somebody leads him to do one. But are you going to ever buy Ricochet versus Roman Reigns, Ricochet versus Brock Lesnar, Ricochet versus Bobby Lashley, Ricochet versus Gunther? Let's be honest. And no, and a lot of people will say, well, look at Rey Mysterio. Again, Rey Mysterio was revolutionary with what he did and grew up in a wrestling family and had the psychology and the once in a generation or once in a lifetime combination of ability and charisma. Ricochet's a good acrobat. The fact that he doesn't have a mask hurts him because there's that blank average face. And yes, you love the flips, but it's like the Flying Greek Mike Pappas when he did the headstand on the top turnbuckle and then kicked off and landed in the middle of the ring and hit a guy with 2 or 3 quick drop kicks. That was great, but it was in the third match, because if you put Mike Pappas against fucking the main event guy in any territory, it would have looked ridiculous because Pappas was 5'6" and only about 190 pounds, which meant he had about 30 on Ricochet. Anyway, good finish and all that stuff, except they beat the wrong guy. But then in the back, Solo and Sami Zayn are walking down the hall, and they're going to the Bloodline locker room, and they meet Jey Uso coming out. And then Jey calls Sami off and says, hey, I see right through you. I know what you're all about. If you put my family in jeopardy, well, then I'm going to, Sami just say, hey, take it up with Roman. So I love the conflict that they've got, except I wish they would come up with more creative ways to impart this information to the viewer than to just have the guys saying it right in front of a television camera. And that means that Roman Reigns can see this anytime he wants to, so we're almost expected to believe that Roman Reigns is stupid or ignorant or not paying attention to what's going on. You know, they don't have to all just come out and speak right in front of a camera. Can't you eavesdrop on a guy in a corner on a cell phone or whatever?